Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting on about 6 cushions. My bum is sore. For those of you that don't know, I had a tumble down the stairs because I'm quite unsteady for different medical reasons, back and hips a bit dodgy, but yeah, so now I've got a bruised bum. I don't know what it is in American, but yeah, bruised butt. So I'm a bit in pain, but I wanted to come on and do this video especially for Terry and for anyone else who is struggling with how to make brush sets. It was something that I'm going to do in my advanced course, which is coming up, but I thought I'd pop on and do it now for Terry because I love her. She's lovely and she was a bit stuck. So the first thing I've done is pulled up one of Terry's pages, and the first thing I'm going to do just to start with is I'm going to crop the image so that I can use one of these images to create a stamp. So I'm just going to pull out that one there, click OK. There we go. I'm just going to rotate it. So image, rotate, and we want to go left, don't we? Yeah, that's it. And now I'm just going to create a new file, and the size that you need for a brush tool is the maximum that you can use a brush tool at, if that makes sense, because you can, if you were to make a small one, you couldn't increase it on the program. It wouldn't let you increase because you'd created it too small. So we're going to create the biggest one we can, and the pixels for that are 2500 by 2500. We keep that transparent and then we click OK. That's very small. Why does that look so small? Hang on. Oh, there we go. I was wondering. Oh. Now I'm going to plop in Terry's image that she purchased and that she's using in her kit, and I'm just going to enlarge that so that we can see what we're doing. Oops, there we go. As big as I can, because I want it to fill the whole image, because otherwise if it'll be too small to create the stamp, the brush tool. Now the next thing I'm going to do is use my magic wand tool, and I'm going to try tolerance of 17. I believe works. What are you doing? Why are you telling me you can't do that? Oh, I've not selected the layer. There we go. So I'm just going to do that. That doesn't look bad actually. I think that's about it. I'm not going to click on contiguous because I don't want it. Let's see if I do. Does that do anything? So if we press escape, because normally contiguous is actually choosing the colors next to one another in order to delete them. So let's just take a look and see. Yeah, that's better. So if you're cutting out a background and it's all one color, make sure contiguous is sorry, my mum just called up for me. It's all happening in my house today. Oh my goodness. So yes, so what I'm doing is clicking contiguous because it will choose all of the pixels that are same and are next to each other, and that's pretty much the same as a background. But if you were picking something out that was lacy, you need to unclick contiguous because you've got little tiny bits of white or whatever the background colors you're trying to get rid of all over that image, all intertwined with the lace, if that makes sense. So let's do that again. There we go, quite happy with that. So I'm just going to click delete and it'll tell me that it wants to simplify. I'll click OK, click delete again, and that's my background done. Click escape, and there we go. So I've now got my background and I can now create my stamp. So I'm just going to make that a bit bigger again because I really would like it to fill up this entire canvas so we get the biggest image we can. There we go. That looks a little bit odd. I wonder if I have taken it out of proportion a little bit. There we go, that's a bit better. So just make sure that your proportions are the same. There we go, that's absolutely fine. So now I'm going to come up to edit, and then I'm going to go down to define brush and click on that. And there we go, we've created a brush tool, and I'm going to call this Terry's tool. Terry stamp, Terry brush. There we go. And I'm going to click OK. Now what that's done now, if I now create a canvas, new blank file, and this time I'm going to go into my 11 by 8. I'm going to make it white because it's just going to be a background page. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to create another layer up here, and I am going to go back to that image there. I'm going to pick up a colour from it with my dropper tool. I'm just going around and finding one I like. I like that one. Just going to double click on it. I always just copy the code just in case something goes awry. Click OK. I'm going to come back to my background. I've got another layer above that background, and I'm just going to put a solid colour, and it's already got that colour in for me, so I'm going to click OK. Now I want to add my brush tool to this, so I'm going to make a new layer, and it's up here. I'm going to go over to my brush tool, and you should find that your new brush is in default brushes, which is just there. Okay, now just make sure that's highlighted and clicked, and then you're going to keep the opacity at 100. We need to change this colour here, because otherwise what will happen if I go like that, can you see it? No, because it's stamped in pink. So we'll just edit, undo that, because I haven't changed my colour back. So I'm just going to change this back to my black, like so. In fact, I think I'm just going to make this grey, just a little bit grayer with a touch of pink in it, because let's see how this works out. Because it's such a pretty kit, I think black might be a bit harsh. So I'm just going to click there, and as you can see, I have a lovely little brush tool, and I've got it on the maximum because it wasn't a particularly big image. So but obviously if you wanted it smaller than that, you could just, let's just undo those. Terry, perhaps you want to tell me where the undo button is, because I seem to, if there's a undo button here that I don't know about, please let me know, because I always go up to edit and undo. Okay, so, and then you can move this brush anywhere you would like, so you could have that in the corner, and you know, you could pick another image from the kit and use that for another part of the paper. Just put that up there, make that a bit smaller. And then you can just go ahead and duplicate that layer now, just as you would do any other image. So if we come up to this layer, I'm just going to duplicate that. Thank you very much. And then I might just bring it down. Let's see. Might just bring that one down. No, I'm going to keep that in the corner. So we could just have one each in the corner, I think. I'm just going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm just going to copy those two layers again. Thank you very much. And then I'm just going to slide them over. So that looks really pretty with that grey. I think if it was black, it would be just too harsh. And there you go. That's how you do it. That's how you create a brush tool. Now, I will say, when I first created the brush tool, if I go back to this one, when I first cut and paste this the first time, I found that down the side here there was some sort of little mark. Now whether it came from the designing, I don't know, but when I made the brush tool out of this image, there was this weird line. So every time I did this, I pressed, sort of stamped this brush tool, sorry, that's the wrong words, but every time I used it, along here there was this part of the image duplicated, which was really strange. All I did was I came back to the original, and I had a look on this side, and I could just see where the image was. I've no idea how it happened, but I just used my eraser and I just got rid of it. So if when you do make your brush tool out of an image, you find that there's something odd about it, go back to that original image, keep it open on in your photo bin, and then you can come back, and if there's anything that's kind of come out a little bit funny and shouldn't be there, then you can use your eraser tool over here just to erase it before you recreate that brush tool. Because remember, the brush tools, we're just loading them, so you could just save it as something else, and when you come out of Photoshop it will just lose it anyway, it won't save it. There is a way of saving brush tools, but it does make your system slow down and it causes a few issues, so I've discovered. But if you look at my brush tool, I have loaded some. My brush tools are a little bit crazy, look, can you see? But I probably loaded a bit too many because I couldn't find this new brush tool once I'd made it. I just couldn't find it anywhere. It was definitely in the system, but for some reason it wasn't under default brushes. I've no idea why. So you can see it's vanished again now. I don't know why that's done that. But anyway, so that's how you do the brush tool. That's how you make it. I would suggest if you're using a beautiful pale colour like Terry, that you would just use sort of a grey or a muted version of the colours that you have in your kit. But you can see this image has made a really pretty brush tool, really pretty stamp. So that's how you do it. If you've got any questions, any of you or Terry, just leave me a comment down below. But if not, I'm going to go and put the heat pad on my bottom, and I'll be back with you as soon as I can. Okay, take care, lovelies. Until I see you next time, craft yourself happy.